want to talk about season 7, episode 5, 1,000 Pound Sisters. Amy had to go to the pharmacy to get some special antibiotics for her camel bite. And I don't blame her. I would want the strongest antibiotics they have after that camel did that kind of damage to her. And then after that, she went to this store to try to find an outfit for court. And she really doesn't have much options to choose from at home. Like, she typically just wears short shorts and spaghetti straps every day. She's more so one of those girlies that would rather be comfortable versus fashionable. And I feel you, girl. I'm getting more like that as I get older. But Amy needs to buy a nice outfit, and I think she needs to buy herself a few bras, because I don't think I've ever seen Amy wear a bra this whole season, and she doesn't want her titties bouncing all over the place as she's walking in the courtroom. Or you never know, they could have the air conditioner real high that day, and I don't think the judge is going to like seeing her nips poking through her shirt if she's not wearing a bra. So she definitely needs to invest in a few of those and some good shoes, because she's always wearing those Nike slides. So they go shopping. She finds herself a nice little outfit. And she says she's annoyed with how her family feels like she isn't taking things seriously. She's like, look, I am taking things seriously. I'm just done talking about it because I've cried so much already. And then Tammy went and took her mother out to get a haircut. And while she was doing this, she's like, hey, I have a new friend in my life and I want to introduce you to her. So her mom was like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Then Amy went to go see a doctor, and at first it was sounding like she was trying to get off her painkillers, and she's like, yeah, so I'm in a lot of pain, I have to take painkillers, I don't like taking them, I know they're not good for me. And then she hit the doctor with, well, I want to manage my pain with marijuana. That's what I would rather do. And I think this is Amy attempting to get prescribed marijuana, because now that she's in legal trouble for getting caught with marijuana and shrooms in the car, I bet they're probably going to make her a drug test or put her on some kind of probation or parole where she's going to have to take frequent drug tests. And if she has marijuana in her system, even if it's legal in your state, you can get in trouble in some states still with probation and parole. So I think she's trying to get around that by trying to get a prescription from a doctor so she can say, oh, this is my medicine. You can't stop me from my medicine. One of Amy's biggest fears, it seems like, is her losing her ability to smoke marijuana. I think that's a huge stress reliever for her. And even the doctor was like, you know, it can help with the pain, but a lot of the time it just masks the pain. It doesn't take it away. And he's like, look, I want to do some stress tests on you. And he does these tests, and he found out that Amy's brain is only functioning at 14%. And I guess typical levels are 80+%. He's like, we want to see you at least at 80%. So 14%, that is so freaking low. And honestly, that explains a lot now. I wouldn't be shocked if Brian's brain's only functioning at about 15% too. The doctor did a little chiropractic session with her and said that's going to relieve all her back pain and help her bowel movements. She did say it was starting to help. I don't know if he ended up prescribing her the marijuana like she was trying to get him to do. But then we see Chris and his wife go see the doctor. The doctor went to ask about her health, her diet habits. And one of the things that came out is Chris's wife drinks 6 sody pops a day. I mean, I would start there with cutting out the sody pops and see if that's even manageable before wasting time going to a doctor. I mean, he pretty much told her the obvious answer, and she needs to cut out all the soda, the sugars. I mean, no wonder she's diabetic from all that damn soda. That is a lot. She probably wakes up in the middle of the night and busts open a cold sody pop. And Chris is kind of concerned because he said his wife, like, one of her biggest true loves is soda, so he knows that's going to be difficult for her, but he believes in her. And then we see Tammy go out with her mother and her girlfriend, and she sits down and she doesn't introduce her girlfriend as her girlfriend. She just kind of makes it seem like this is one of her friends. But her mom kind of already knew something was up because Tammy has never introduced anybody to her before. And she kind of already knows that Tammy swings both ways, even though Tammy doesn't really talk about it. They sat there, had small talk, and at the end, Tammy's mom said that she liked and approved of Tammy's girlfriend. Then Amy decided to invite Tammy and Misty out to a haunted house because Brian wanted to go to a haunted house as a date, and he specifically requested that Amy invite all her family. So Tammy and Misty went, but they didn't really seem too excited about going. They start going through the haunted house, and in every room they got people popping out, scaring them. But then all of a sudden they walk into like the third or fourth room, and it was a padded room, and there was nobody in there. And I'm like, okay, why are they just like in an empty padded room? Nobody's popping out. And then I saw Brian go in the corner and start digging in his pocket, and I'm like, oh, this fool is about to propose to Amy in this haunted house. And that's exactly what he did. He got on one knee, proposed to Amy, and Amy said yes. And he said, I love you, babe. And she said, I know you do. And Misty and Tammy were just sitting there rolling their eyes. They didn't really have to say anything because they said they have like their own little language where they just look at each other and raise their eyebrows, and they can communicate and know what the other person's thinking. And they're just like, bitch, please. Normally I would be like, why you gotta be a negative Nancy and kill the vibe? Because even if someone's not saying anything, you can pick up on their energy, and an engagement should be a special moment for someone. But I can understand their frustrations because you've only known the girl for 6 weeks. 6 weeks. You literally just got arrested with her 2 children with mushrooms and marijuana in the car. She could have lost her children over that. I had to do like some kind of case with CPS and had to deal with a few things because of that. And that should not be overlooked. And that just happened days ago. And now you're proposing to her. Like, the family's still mad at you for what happened at the petting zoo, or what was it, the little drive-through feeding zoo or whatever the hell they call it. They're still mad at him for that, and they don't really fully trust him. And here he is going on a whim and proposing to Amy. It's not a good time at all. There's something off about Brian. Like, I can't put my finger on it. I think he might be a little fried out from maybe doing a little too many psychedelics in the past or smoking way too much weed. But I don't know, there's just something about him. Like, I do believe he truly loves Amy, but I also feel like he gets overly excited off her fame and is rushing things. Because look, we saw Caleb do the same thing. He met Tammy, knew she was on the show, and I'm not saying that's why he proposed to her with a quickness, but it's definitely a red flag that he proposed to her so quickly. And now we see Brian doing the same exact thing when there's no reason to propose this fast. I mean, she already agreed to move in with him, so why not just take it one step at a time and see if you guys can live together first? I just feel like Brian enjoys Amy, but he also enjoys all the opportunities that come along with being with Amy, because now this is a job he's secured, being on the show now that he's with Amy, because now every time she's on a season, I'm sure we're going to see him right along with her. And Amy just thinks like this is the best thing since sliced bread, because Michael, he set the bar low. He didn't do no fancy proposal and they're shopping for engagement rings 1 week after getting together. Like, Amy has a history of moving fast, and she clearly hasn't learned from any of her past relationships. I mean, she was with that guy after Michael for a while, and he was living with her and Tammy and playing stepdaddy to her kids for a while, and then that didn't work out. Then that family went outside and they're like, look, Amy, congratulations, but we're just worried that you're moving too fast. Like, hasn't anything that you've been through in the past not swayed you? And Amy was like, my heart's just in it, and I know I love him, so this is what I'm going to do. You can't tell Amy nothing at this point. Amy's going to do what Amy wants to do. Amy did reveal on TikTok that her and Brian are going to have a wedding on Halloween, which I'm sure we're going to see on the show. And I'm sure the show is going to pay for most of it. And then she said that she was talking about having kids at the beginning of their season. She's like, I'm thinking about getting my tubes untied. Well, she revealed that they ended up settling on not having any more kids, which I think that's best with Brian in his 50s. And she said that they decided to get 2 cats instead. But they've been adding all sorts of animals to her collection. She's got 3 cats now. She's got multiple snakes. And one of the snakes is a pretty dangerous snake, and lizards and all kinds of stuff. I will say, though, out of all the people that I've seen Amy be with, I think she seems like she's the most compatible with Brian, and Brian is the one that I like the most out of all the other ones I've seen. I just hope he's genuine. I guess we'll be able to tell more with time. But yeah, Amy is now engaged, and she's number 11 on Cameo right now. She must be rolling in the big bucks, because I know like Jasmine from 90 Day Fiancé, she was like in the top 10 at one point, and I added it up, and she was making like over $5,000 a week around like Christmas time and some of the holidays. So Amy must be making some good money. I mean, she deserves it though. I was about to wrap this video up, but then I wanted to do some digging and see if I could find anything else out to add to this video. And this is allegedly Brian's ex-wife. I'm not sure if these are his kids. I'm going to assume they are, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to lie, that just makes me a little concerned, because I've seen a few of his exes now, and all of them were on the small, petite side, and they're like the complete opposite of Amy. So it kind of makes me wonder if he's really into Amy as much as he leads on. I was looking, and I did find this article someone posted on Reddit talking about how he returned to the newspaper staff after taking a little break for a while. He used to cover Hopkins County sports in the newspaper in the early 2000s, and he also would write obituaries, and now he's back for this was from a few years ago, but he was covering the basketball season in the newspaper. So at least he does get a job. At least I hope he still has one. And it kind of works along with Amy, because if he's a writer, that's kind of a job that you can do wherever you are in the US on the go. He can just do his writing. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.